Hey everyone, welcome back to this channel. My name is Ann Garcon, and on this channel we discuss all things faith, lifestyle, and sister locks. This is actually part 2 of a series that I'm talking about when I left my DOE teaching job, why I left, the struggles in the middle, and how things are going now. If you did not catch part 1 yet, I'm going to leave it in the description box below. Make sure you watch that and then come back here. Y'all, so in the first video I talked about why I left, right? But now I want to talk about the hardships of that leap. So when you take a leap of faith, you don't, it's literally a leap of faith. You don't know where you're going to land. You don't know when you're going to land, right? I honestly feel like now I'm landing. I'm finding my balance again. And that's 2 years later. So it took some time to get there. When I took that leap, of course it came with excitement. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I just did it. Like September comes around in 2024 and it's time for the kids to go back to school, and I didn't have a classroom to go back and set up. I was like, whoa, that joint really hit me. I was like, I'm really doing this. So honestly, it was from 2024, September of 2024, all the way until I would say June of the whole school year. I graduated in January, and after January, I was like, okay, so now what? So now what? Because I don't have the consistent income coming in anymore. We're now living in a one income household. Thank God my husband makes some pretty good money, but we live in New York. Let me just say that. We live in New York, where bills don't care about what you make. The first couple of months, it was okay, but then we started to feel it. Okay, we still got a mortgage. We still have grocery bills. We still have phone bills. We still have light bills. We still have gas bills. We still have water bills. We still have all these bills. But now we have to make it work on one income. And I was making pretty good money. So that was like a culture shock in a sense. And in those moments, that's when I started to say to myself, and I wouldn't talk to my husband about this. I would just keep this to myself, like, did I do the right thing? Like, was it the right time? Should I have waited? What did I do? And those are all questions that I had in my head. Sometimes they would get so overwhelming, I would just break and I would have to say, babe, I'm so sorry that I left you out. He's like, what are you saying? Like, he had to reassure me and reel me back and remind me of the purpose, right? Because sometimes the enemy will try to throw in a curveball to make you believe that you did the wrong thing. He will make you believe that you're not forgiven. He'll make you believe that, God didn't hear you. He'll make you believe, like, he'll try to just throw in a curveball to set you off track. But we have to have the mind of Christ, and we have to always keep our mind stayed on him, because our mind is the devil's playground, right? An idle mind. When you're just sitting in your thoughts and you're like getting carried away with those thoughts, that's where the enemy will come in and try to manipulate and cause you to shift your thinking into negativity. And so thank God for my husband. He just would reassure me that we would be okay. He had to do some financial backflips in the background, shifting things from account to account here and there, making calls here and there, try to see how we can make things work. Bro, that man, he made it work. And the beauty about it is that he didn't make me feel it, right? He didn't make me question what I know God was telling me to do. He didn't make me question that. He just supported me in it and kind of handled things so that I could be okay. Thank you, babe. All right. Bring it back. So, in these moments, I'm thinking, okay, how can I compensate for what I was making that I'm not making anymore? And I don't like to put myself out there as a, asking people for money or, so like, I mean, I know that you have to do what you got to do. Like if you have a service that you are really good at and you can provide it to someone and receive compensation for it, then do that. Everybody does that, right? It was just hard for me to really put myself out there and, and like say, hey, I provide these services for this fee. It's just hard for me. So I really relied on God, y'all. I really relied on God. Like, how when you have a secure job, God is your provider, but do you really need him to provide, right? Not, and I'm not going to say you don't, because I don't want anyone to get this wrong, but you really, you can sustain, because you know that your check is coming every 2 weeks. You know that you know that it's coming in because you have a stable job, right? If I work, I got to get paid. So if you don't pay me, like you're in the wrong, like you have to pay me. But for those who don't have that income anymore, like you're literally out here with Jesus. Like he becomes your sole provider. And he taught me how to truly rely on him in that year. My prayer life, granted, everybody's prayer life should always be on and popping, right? But when you need something from God, like you're at his feet, like you're like, remember me. So the way it strengthened my faith that God would provide is beyond this world. And I thank God for that season of drought. I call it a drought. I thank God for that season of drought because it's in that season that I was actually able to see God as the provider that he is. He showed me that he is Jehovah Jireh. Like he showed me because I relied on him to be that for us. And, we were able to do certain things that it's beyond me, because I know that God was providing. And not only did these doubts and fears come, but also like this shift in identity. Like for almost 19 years, I'm known as Mrs. Garcon in the classroom, and I teach. Like that's what I do. And so like now being out of this position, I'm left with like, okay, who am I? Like, what else am I good at? Like if I were to go back for another job, because listen, bills still got to get paid, right? You can leave one place, but you gotta you can't be irresponsible. If you leave somewhere, you have to have a plan. Okay, how am I going to make money to live in New York? Sidebar, New York is not all it's cracked up to be anymore. Like, we ready to leave. Anyway, who said that? That was a sidebar. But it came with like, okay, an identity shift. Like, okay, who am I anymore? And I had to remind myself that my identity is not connected to what I do, right? My identity is who I am in Christ, and it's attached to my purpose on earth, right? Who did God call me to be, and in every season? And I believe I'm always going to be an educator, but just my position just shifted, right? And I had to remind that, like, my identity is in Christ, and it's connected to my purpose on earth. And so with different seasons may call for different purposes. And so this is a new season that I'm in, and I am finding myself now. I'm finding my footing. So my faith really kept me. My faith really kept me grounded, reminding me that if God opened this door, he opened the door for me to get into school. He opened the door for me to graduate. He opened the door for me to be more present for my family. I'm able to wake up earlier and pack their lunches and send them off with encouraging notes and verses to meditate on throughout the day. I'm here to receive Bailey when she comes off the bus. afforded me that, if he opened the door for that, I'm sure he's going to open doors to whatever steps he wants me to take. Like he has become my provider. He has become my guide in a real way. And I say in a real way because he always has been, but it's really like, I'm actually doing this thing with Jesus. It's literally me and Jesus. And so, and even after just seeing Bailey thrive, it was another confirmation that me being present was the path I needed to take. And so a leap will come with hardships, but God. I think that's it. I think I could end it right there. But God. But God. I love that man, y'all. I love him. So I just want you to come back for the final, the third and final video where I talk about where am I now? Like, what is the update? I left, I grieved, but now where am I? Come back and learn about like what I've learned, how I've grown, what does life look like after the DOE? And I want to encourage you that if you are looking to take a leap, you literally will never know what could be if you never take it. And I encourage you to take it. Know that God is telling you to take the leap, and know that he will make provision and give you that footing that you need as you land. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, there's only one you. So be the best you that you can be.